The guards to the jail in which Vasudev and Devaki were confined were awakened from a deep slumber induced by Yogamaya by a child's cry. They hastily rubbed their eyes, checked their locks on the dungeon, and then ran to the king with the news that the eighth child had arrived. You see, the programming was being done upstairs in the heavens. They did not know what was happening, so they could report only what they could see on the earth. Kansa rushed to the dungeon, determined to kill the infant that was predicted to be his nemesis. He was agitated by the belief that his death warrant had been signed. In haste, he had not even dressed properly. His long tresses were dishevelled. Twice he stumbled on the pavement stones. With eyes glowing like live coals, he entered the dungeon where Devaki was nursing the infant daughter. He tore the child away from her breast. Before the cruel uncle could commit the heinous act of throwing the infant against a rock, Devaki fell at his feet, with folded hands, begged for mercy. Through a torrent of tears, she said, "My dear and loving brother, this child is like your daughter-in-law. It is a girl, not a boy. You must never hurt a female. So far you have killed 6 of my children, who were glorious like Agni. Please spare this daughter. Have pity on me, your unfortunate younger sister. You are a strong and brave person. Put an end to my unhappiness. Let my last child survive." Kansa, however, paid no heed to her plea. He snatched the infant, held her by her feet, swung her around a few times, and flung her against a rock. How dramatic. However, this was no ordinary child. She was Yogamaya, Vishnu's celestial power and handmaid. With a flash of lightning, she ascended to the heavens and assumed the form of Devi. With 8 arms, each carrying a different weapon, a bow, a trident, arrows, a shield, a sword, a conch, a discus, and a mace. She was dressed in garlands of celestial flowers and jewels, and was anointed with sandal paste. Addressing Kansa, the Devi said, "O evil incarnate, you gained nothing by killing me. Your enemy has taken birth. At an appropriate time he will destroy you. He is somewhere else. Do not in future kill any innocent child." She did not tell him where the enemy was. Suspense had to be maintained. Devi's celestial warning shocked Kansa. He freed Vasudeva and Devaki from their cell and in an attempt at reconciliation said to them, "My dear sister and brother-in-law, no doubt I am a cruel person. I regret having killed your sons. I have lost the sympathy of all my kinsfolk. In my pride, I have deserted my own kith and kin. I am sure I shall not rot in hell. It is just not humans, even Devarshis tell a lie. Narad Muni misled me. I believed him and killed so many innocent infants. Do not grieve for them. It was their destiny to die. Their karma must have been such as to deserve this end. You will understand because you are Mahatmas. Our body is destined to perish. Death does not involve our soul." So the wise said, "Listen to Kansa preaching philosophy, talking philosophy. I beg your forgiveness," he said. "You are kind, you are generous. By temperament you are sadhus. I am a sinner." Kansa shed profuse tears. He prostrated at the feet of Devaki and Vasudeva, Believing his repentance to be genuine, they forgave him. However, Kansa had not taken into account the advice that would be tendered by his devilish ministers the next day. Things changed. Being Daityas, his ministers and advisers were naturally hostile to the virtuous. Having heard of what had transpired the previous day, they unanimously advised him, Bhojraj, as the whereabouts of the child who is going to harm you are unknown, we shall kill all newborn infants in the nearby towns, hamlets and in the Ahir colonies. Maharaja, we are not afraid of the Devtas. They are cowards. The mere echo of your bowstring frightens them, and in fear they wet their underclothes. Look at the simile. Their bravado is confined to places outside a battlefield. That impotent Indra is ever seeking the help of some king or the other on the earth. We are not afraid of Shiva who spends his time in forests or of Brahma who leads a lonely life. Vishnu alone frightens us. However, we are sure, Maharaja, we can take care of him if he descends here to fight your mighty forces. O mighty sovereign, they said, you can entrust us with the job of uprooting the pillars that support Vishnu on this earth, such as Sanatan Dharma, the Brahmins, the Vedas, the cows, the tapasvis, or the yagya ceremonies. Vishnu hides in them. We cannot ignore an enemy as we cannot ignore a disease that invades the body. It must be excised as early as possible, lest it spread like cancer or tuberculosis. Bhojraj, may you be victorious. We shall soon destroy the Brahmins who recite the Vedas, behead all the rishis, kill the cows and the cowherds, and annihilate the tapasvis sitting in meditation or performing yagya. That will take care of Vishnu. Rajan, we shall not allow any child to come even near your shadow. Our security systems are foolproof. It will be years before a child born today is old enough to fight your might. Kansa saw substance in these arguments. They are my loyal courtiers and generals. He persuaded himself that he had been unnecessarily kind to Devaki and her husband. Why take the risk, he thought. He ordered his soldiers, who were piling for a fight to kill children all over, to launch a reckless and brutal killing of children, Brahmins and cows. He knew that the Asuras could assume several forms and disguises at will. They were therefore sure to succeed. Thus ends this episode from Srimad Bhagavad Purana. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Jai Sri Krishna. Jai Sri Krishna. Jai Sri Krishna.